Hey guys, this is Substitute Topher here for the TheTopher, and today we're driving the 2021 Toyota Mirai hydrogen fuel cell car. I'm going to do my best to explain sort of how this thing works, how it drives, my pretty raw first impressions. I've only driven this thing about 10 miles, and of course, living in Michigan, we don't have cars like this. This Mirai is exclusively sold in California. So unfortunately, if you don't live in California, you can't quite yet get your hands on one of these. They are working on some infrastructure to expand the areas in which you can buy this Mirai. But for now, only California. But this thing is pretty cool. I figured while I'm in Texas on this Toyota event, I would take the chance to drive this car because I don't know when else I would really have the chance to do so. So under the hood of this Mirai, we have a hydrogen fuel cell paired sort of with an electric motor. And underneath the car, we've got 3 hydrogen tanks, which according to the marketing specialist that I just spoke to, are only puncturable by military-grade artillery. So you won't have to worry about, if you drive over something in the road, having your hydrogen tank punctured. What all this means is that combined power output is 182 horsepower and 221 foot-pounds of torque, and that is just sent through the same sort of CVT style that you get in an electric car. This thing does drive like an EV, but it's a little bit different, so I'm excited to take you out on the road in this thing today. But before we get into any more technical details, let's go ahead and walk around this thing. We'll look under the hood. I'll show you where you put the hydrogen in, and we'll just do sort of a normal interior tour like we do for any other normal car on the channel. Let's go ahead and pop the hood so I can show you what lies underneath. The way this thing works is sort of like mad science because it has electric motors, but you don't charge it up like a normal electric car. You instead put hydrogen in it. The hydrogen then goes into this fuel cell thing in the front, and it mixes with air, and then there's some sort of chemical reaction that mixes with pixie dust and witchcraft, and then it goes to the wheels to then power the car. This is an advantage because it only takes about 5 minutes to fill this thing up, as opposed to waiting for your electric car to charge for 30 or 40 minutes. So a super cool idea. Obviously the infrastructure isn't super common right now, only in California. But just looking under here, it just looks like a hybrid powertrain with all these terrifying orange cords and things. But we've got a really nice, attractive engine cover on here that says fuel cell. We've got our blue Toyota badge on there. And speaking of attractive, let's talk about the styling on this Mirai. So this is a 2021. The 2022 looks exactly the same, but this is a totally new generation for the 2021 model year. The previous car looked a little bit odd, and it kind of deterred, well, normal people from buying it. So the idea with this new generation is that it appeals to everyone. And to me, it kind of looks like the Lexus GS. If they were to bring it back and give it a new generation, I feel like this is kind of what it would look like. And this car overall really has quite a lot of Lexus design language, interior and exterior. It's a very, very classy design. Very smooth body lines. I've got a cool strip taillight across the back, and when I saw this earlier, I thought it was a hatchback, but it's actually just a normal trunk. Not power or anything. And honestly, a pretty small trunk. This has to do with all of the hydrogen tanks and electric motors and everything else. In a car like this, you are going to lose some interior space, and you'll see even more of that when we go to the back seat. No storage under here either, just a toolkit and, you know, some other things. Screwdriver, tow hook, all your normal stuff for if you are broken down. Trunk lid is kind of heavy and difficult to close, but not too big of a deal. Also, you're welcome for the ASMR on the rocks here. So we do have tailpipes on this Mirai, but what comes out of them is nothing unless you press the H2O button on the interior to purge all of the condensation from the system. So all this thing emits from itself is water. And that doesn't make sense in my brain, but the engineers here at Toyota have done a really fabulous job implementing that into this platform. So just really cool to see something that is just very out of the ordinary. I've never driven anything like this, so pretty exciting. So the back seat of the Mirai When you look at this car from the outside, you think, oh, this probably has a huge back seat. It's a pretty sizable car. But then you get back here and you realize it's actually kind of cramped. So I'm 5'11", and sitting behind myself, my knees do touch the back of the seat, and there's a little bit of room for your feet to go into the seat, but really not a lot. With this being the limited trim of the Mirai, we do have some luxuries and amenities in the back, such as sunshades, which is pretty neat to see in a car of this size in nature. We also have this fold-down armrest that has a center console, cup holders, and its own climate control display that you can turn on with a power button. You've got heated and cooled seats back here. You can adjust the radio, and my favorite part, got a sunshade for the back window. How Lexus and BMW 7 Series is that? Super cool. All of these interior amenities really just remind me of Lexus, even down to the softness of the upholstery. Now, this isn't real leather in here, but they've made it feel like it. I mean, it feels like soft Lexus leather, which I can really appreciate. This just turns off, again, with the push of the power button, and you can fold that back into the third seat. However, you're going to have some trouble actually putting somebody here because of how high the hump is here in the middle. They give you a third seat belt, but I don't really know how you could put somebody here because look how high. I mean, I just don't know how that would work. Instead, what I would use it for would be these two USB ports. Plug two things in and let your devices sit here instead of a third person. I think you could really only use this for someone that's under the age of 5. It wouldn't really work for anybody else. Quick peek at the driver and passenger compartment before we hop up there and go for a drive. Give you a little bit of a tour up there as well. But it's kind of the same story. It's a little bit cramped. The whole interior of this car is quite a bit smaller than I was expecting. So let's go ahead and hop up there and take a look at that as well. So up front, you do get this sort of Lexus vibe, especially from the steering wheel, the way they've designed it with the perforated leather sticking out here in the front, and just the overall design of the steering wheel, very Lexus to me. The dashboard design is quite peculiar because usually in cars, they angle things towards the driver. However, in the Mirai, it appears that the vents and everything is angled towards the passenger. So that's a little bit of a strange design element. Up here, just a pretty normal looking Toyota infotainment. Everything on the right-hand side works as you know. I've got my phone wired in right now for Apple CarPlay. It takes up about half of the screen there. So that's pretty neat. But what's different and what you don't get on normal Toyotas are all of these different hydrogen gauges that go here on the left, similar to if you just had a normal hybrid Toyota, what they give you in the split screen. So you have an air purification times 1,000 liters per minute, I guess. I don't know entirely what that means, so forgive me for that. And then you also have your traditional hybrid display here with your fuel cell, the battery, and then the wheel representing power being sent to the wheels. You can also see your efficiency history here on this tab, but I like to keep it on this gauge while I'm driving. Obviously over here you can also see your music and your climate control settings as well. So overall, a very, very strange vehicle. I'm excited to go out on the road. Oh yeah, we also have this pretty big panoramic moonroof, but we have a big split in it here, so it's not a full just purely glass unit. Rearview mirror, also a camera, so that's pretty neat. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this off real quick because I wanna show you guys where you put the hydrogen in, and you can't open that door while the car is running, so we have to do it while the car is off. It really just looks like a normal fuel door, as anything really does, whether it's petrol powered or an EV. But this is where you put the hydrogen in on this Mirai, just in a very normal location. This little thing comes off, and then you like attach a nozzle to that thing there, and it's just like a very high pressurized system that pumps in the hydrogen, I think. So kind of a neat system. And all right, I think we've done enough standing around, enough touring. Let's go ahead and take this Mirai out on the road and see what it's like to drive. Comfort access, of course, with your steering wheel and seat. You can see that emerging towards me now. So the shifter in this Mirai is very similar to the one that you get in the Prius. Reverse neutral drive on the left, and then a button for park, and then you have your regen braking here on the right. There's so many insects in Texas. The whole inside of the car is infested. Anyways, you go into reverse, you can see your reversing cameras here, 360 camera and just traditional reverse camera. Over to the left and down for drive, and you can see your front camera, and 360 camera stays up as well. Super light steering in the Mirai, easy to maneuver in parking lots. It actually feels quite small when you drive it as well, but I think this could have to do with how small the interior feels. And there you have it, guys. Taking off, it's just like an EV. It's a little bit of a different noise. It almost sounds like you can hear the compressed water being mixed with the air and magic to go to the wheels. It's a pretty cool sensation. 182 horsepower, 221 foot-pounds of torque. It's not fast. Toyota claims 0 to 60 in about 9 seconds, which is about what it feels like. You do get the similar sensation of the low down torque that you get in an EV, of course, because we do still have electric motors on board of the Mirai. But you don't get as much power as you get in, say, a BZ4X or something similar in this lineup. We've got a couple of drive modes here in the Mirai. I'm currently in eco mode, but we do also have normal and sport. Let's go ahead and take off in sport from this light and see what this car feels like off the line. Very linear power. I mean, really just like an EV. So as far as filling this thing up goes, you have to go to a special hydrogen station, which you can only do in California. But when you do purchase the Mirai, Toyota gives you a $15,000 fuel credit, which they think will last you just about 6 years. So you don't have to even pay to run this thing. You just drive it around for free for 6 years until your credit runs out. And I mean, if that's not a motivation to save the planet, then I don't know what is, especially with gas prices just being wildly expensive right now. And the fact that this Mirai only takes 5 minutes to fill up, similar to just going and putting gas in your car at the gas station. It's a little bit wallowy. You can definitely feel the weight of the car. This is a 4,300 pound vehicle. So you definitely feel that when you're going around corners. It helps that it has pretty light steering. Ooh, yeah. I actually don't mind the way it drives. It's really relaxing. I mean, there's just no pressure to drive quickly or anything as such. We'll go back down into normal mode for the remainder of the drive and just do some leisure driving as one would in their Mirai. The Mirai comes in 2 different trim levels. You have an XLE, which is the base model, and then you have cars like this, which are the limited trim, and they're quite expensive. This particular car is about $66,000. That's about where they start as well. So it's kind of tough for me because obviously I don't live in California. But if you consider the $15,000 fuel credit that you get when you buy this thing, it honestly kind of makes sense. You know, you figure 66 grand, but if you subtract the $15,000 in fuel costs, it puts you more around the $50,000 point. So it makes a little bit more sense to me in that way. And also, this thing is just really, really comfortable to drive around. The ride quality is really nice. The weight of the car helps it feel steady and planted on the road. You don't get any artificial noise pumped in. I'm pretty sure everything I'm hearing right now is legit, and it sounds kind of neat. You can see our gauge here. It shows how much water I'm spurting into the fuel cell, I would assume there. that's kind of a cool readout. Let's see this one. So now that's doing all sorts of things there. If they could nail this down and actually get infrastructure out, then this would be a pretty neat solution to, well, saving polar bears, wouldn't it? Oh, we should try out the H2O purge. So you've got a little H2O button here next to this beautiful Mirai badge. You click that, FCV system purge in progress. So what it's doing now is it's dumping all of the water and condensation that has built up, or sort of like the hydrogen waste, essentially. Water purge has completed. So it's just dumped out all of the water. The road is quite wet here. Maybe a couple other Mirai drivers have been through here today. Just instinctively, whenever I drive under a tunnel, I always want to floor it, but the Mirai doesn't make any noise, so not too much gratification there. A little bit of tire squeal. I am pleasantly surprised with this Mirai. It's honestly kind of fun to drive in the same way that an EV is. So, pretty cool product here from Toyota. I'm really, really anxious to see if they expand this infrastructure. Obviously, this is something like this isn't just going to happen tomorrow, but sometime in the future. I mean, this may be the solution. I'm waiting for engineers in the comment section to be like, no, you idiot, that'll never work for reason X, Y, and Z. But let me just be ignorant to hydrogen cars for just a second and enjoy the Mirai for what it is. All right, guys, well, we're gonna go ahead and park this. We'll do one last little walk around of the Mirai, and then that will be it. Maybe someday we'll have one of these back at the HQ in Michigan. I did hear a rumor from one of the Toyota guys that they are sending one to the Michigan fleet. So how cool would that be to actually drive this car around and see what it's like to live with? I don't really know how we would go about fueling it. I guess that would be kind of a problem. They would probably have some sort of way for us to do it. But that'll wrap it up for us today with the Mirai. Super excited that I got to drive this car. It's still making noises. We're depressurizing its system. No military-grade artillery has been shot at it, so hopefully the hydrogen tanks don't explode on our last walk around here. Allegedly, a very safe way to go about. And I guess I did want to touch on this because the whole thing with electric cars is like, if you crash and catch on fire, usually the fire department will just let them burn. So this should be a little bit of a safer alternative for that, right? Though I suppose it does still have a battery, so maybe not. Anyways, that'll wrap it up for us today, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed experiencing the Mirai with me, and we'll see you very soon in the next video. This has been Substitute Topher filling in for the Topher today. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching.